For years, Vladimir Putin has been saying the same thing. The biggest weapon America possesses is not its military, it's the US dollar. Every time Washington imposes sanctions, freezes assets, or cuts countries off from the global financial system, Putin points to the same culprit. The dollar has become a geopolitical weapon, he says. And his answer has been equally consistent. Stop depending on the dollar. Trade in national currencies, build alternative payment systems, break the dollar's monopoly. More than 90% of the commercial trade between Russia and India and Russia and China are now handled in local currencies. Putin now wants to add Bangladesh to this mix. And he's not talking about Bangladesh paying Russia in their rupee, but he wants them to be paid in the Indian rupee. Yes, you heard that right. Russia now wants to use the Indian rupee to trade with Bangladesh. So is this merely a banking workaround, or is it another step in Putin's long campaign to de-dollarize global trade? Let's explain this. Here's the immediate problem. Bangladesh owes Russia money, lots of it. The payments are linked to the Rooppur Nuclear Power Plant, Bangladesh's biggest infrastructure project built by Russia's state-owned rosatom with Russian financing. But Western sanctions have complicated everything. Russian banks involved in international payments have been sanctioned. Normal banking channels don't work anymore. Bangladesh has actually been depositing the repayments into a Russian account at Sonali Bank. But the money can't move onward to Russia. It's stuck. Russia first explored another option using the Chinese yuan. That reportedly failed. So Moscow has gone looking for another currency, and this time it has picked the Indian rupee. Now, Russia's proposal is straightforward. Allow bilateral trade with Bangladesh to be settled in Indian rupees. Create a dedicated payment mechanism. Even open a Russian bank branch inside Bangladesh to facilitate the transactions. And why the rupee? Because unlike the dollar, it's already familiar to both countries. India and Russia already conduct a significant part of their bilateral trade in rupees. Bangladesh also trades with India using rupees in transactions. Since 2022, India has also introduced special rupee Vastru accounts, allowing foreign banks to settle international trade in rupees. So Russian banks like Sberbank and VTB already use this system. So from Moscow's perspective, the infrastructure already exists, is in place. The Indian rupee simply becomes the bridge connecting Russia and Bangladesh. Delhi did not ask for this role, but it benefits either way. More rupee circulation abroad builds India's push for currency internationalization and gives Indian banks more sway in South Asian trade. But there's a catch. If India's currency becomes the transit route for sanctioned Russian trade, Washington will notice. Delhi already walks this line with the rupee-ruble oil trade with Moscow. Adding Bangladesh raises the stakes and could bring the same scrutiny that made Chinese banks refuse the yuan option. Dhaka needs Russian fertilizer, wheat, and nuclear plant support. Exports to Russia, however, have dropped to $245 million this fiscal year. And remember, before the Ukraine war, the Russia-Bangladesh trade was at over $500 million. For Bangladesh, fixing the payment logjam now matters more than any geopolitical symbolism. But here's the bigger picture. This isn't just about one nuclear power plant or one payment stuck inside a bank account. It's another example of exactly what Putin has been advocating for years. Countries trading without using the US dollar. Every such transaction chips away, even if a little chipping away is done at every time, at the dollar's dominance. No, the dollar isn't disappearing tomorrow, for instance. It still dominates global trade and international reserves by a huge margin. But Russia isn't trying to replace it overnight either. Its strategy is much more gradual. One bilateral agreement at a time, one national currency at a time, first China, then India, now Bangladesh. Each successful payment outside the dollar system strengthens Moscow's argument that alternatives are possible. The real question now is this: will Delhi let its currency become South Asia's default sanctions bypass? Does this expose Indian banks to secondary sanctions? And if it works here, does the rupee become the go-to workaround for every sanctioned economy next? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep watching Times Access.
The old rules are breaking. Alliances are shifting.
Apologize again to the victims of the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein.
Wars are redrawing maps. Oil routes can shake economies overnight. One election in America can impact markets in Mumbai.
No tax on tips.
One move by China can alter the balance in Asia. One conflict in West Asia can hit every Indian household. This is no longer a distant story. This is our story. Your story. Because for the first time in decades, India is not watching from the sidelines. India is rising. India is negotiating. India is balancing rivals. India is building military strength. India is shaping trade routes. India is becoming central to the new global order. And yet, most global news is still told through someone else's lens. Washington's lens, Beijing's lens, London's lens. But where is India's lens? Where is the platform that explains the world from our perspective? Welcome to India's Axis, a new destination for geopolitics, strategy, and power seen through India's eyes. From Neighborhood Watch to the biggest global stories that matter to you. Why tensions in the Taiwan Strait matter to India. How one move by China can affect India's security. What turmoil in Pakistan means for regional stability. How Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, and Bhutan shape India's neighborhood. Why oil choke points can hit your wallet. How wars abroad can reshape India's security. This is not noise. This is not shouting. This is not recycled headlines. This is sharp, intelligent storytelling. Daily explainers, war room analysis, strategic conversations. Because news is everywhere, but perspective is rare, and in the age of confusion, clarity is power. Axis is for the audience that wants more than headlines. The axis of global power is shifting. India is at the center of that shift. It's time the world was explained accordingly, to understand the world through India's strategic lens. Subscribe now.